I'll show you guys what the setup looks like tomorrow. And they're actually, it looks like they're not enforcing the table regulations here. According to like the actual handbook that they gave us, the table is not supposed to be it could be a maximum of your display can be a maximum of 6 feet over the top of the table, and a lot of these artists are clearly over that, and I don't know if they're not enforcing it. I guess that's cool, but I engineered my display to be a certain way, and yeah, we're just gonna leave it as is. No need to fuck around with it if it's not broken, right? So the original plan last night was to come home, work on some Patreon cards, live stream. But I was so tired yesterday. I think I had been awake for over 40 hours, which we've been doing that a lot lately just because there's so much to get done. And I don't know if I'm becoming an insomniac or something. I just have not been sleepy. But when I do get tired, it it hits all at one time. Like that's what happened last night. I came back to the room and I had to order like 6 gallons of water on Instacart, and then I chugged. I think I've finished one whole one already. And anyway, so we're gonna go to the convention today, do our business. And then tonight, we for sure are gonna live stream the Patreon cards, and then we gotta hit the gym. Cause your boy's getting a lot of bulbous. But first things first. This hotel supposedly has breakfast provided, which starts in 5 minutes at 6 o'clock, which is 4 a.m. California time. So let's go check out that breakfast. Let's go check it out. My hotel is about 1.3 miles away from the convention, and that's not very far, right? So I tried to walk here after the setup yesterday. I didn't realize that a lot of this was uphill. So the Google Maps said it was like a 20-minute walk. But it took like 40 minutes because almost all of it was uphill, and I was just like fucking struggle busing just to get here. So this will be like a very well earned breakfast.
Does it open at 9 today?
10.
Yeah. The Yu-Gi-Oh!
The Yu-Gi-Oh's new. I completely redrew the Overwatch one because it was missing characters. But now that Overwatch 2 is out, I could make like a definitive version of that. I did the same thing with League. The Turtles is new. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Is new. That's kind of it.
I dig the Turtles, man. You're stepping it up with the highlights.
Yeah,
it's really what you need when you're doing so much noise on a print like these.
I actually, if you see this one, it's just line art and flat colors.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did a version of that had like the full everything on it, and it just looks so messy. And once I turned all those layers off, I was like, oh, this is way better. Yeah. So it kind of depends. Yeah.
It's hard because like you want to take that chunk and just apply like a 2-pixel stroke or something, right? Like.
Yeah, I think it's because this one actually has like main characters, mm-hmm. and then the rest of it's a background, versus all of this stuff is more just like splatter, right, of characters.
Well, you know about like you're doing like literal sizes on some of these characters, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like compositionally with posters, you know about like hierarchy of scale.
What do you mean?
So the hierarchy of scale is determining the scale of people based on their hierarchy of importance.
Oh,
or
yeah,
aesthetic,
okay,
and,
yeah.
You know, so it's like that one.
Like this one, yeah.
Yeah, your hierarchy of
Or
scale
even
is on point
to
with
degree,
that one.
yeah.
And then that one's like, it's just Goku, and then
Just
all
everyone
of
else.
Yeah, yeah. The Turtles one's a step up, man. I dig it. Do you have a lot of these?
Yeah.
Can I come by Sunday? And if you haven't
Yeah.
sold out, my little brother loves the shit out of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I used to be a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Oh,
before-
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I
was my
started,
drug
yeah?
Go over there, and him and his friends are like playing the shit and like watching like Twitch streams of like unpacking and stuff.
Yeah, that's what got me drawing in the first place.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I was doing like custom playmats and shit for people. Yeah, so I drew every Pokemon Gen 1 through 8, and then I drew all the variations and forms that everyone has. This does include the Hisui Pokemon. It's just missing Scarlet Violet.
Damn.
Because I do my best to scale them on Pokedex size. So I really need to like see what comes out. I need to get all the information for everybody, and so it'll be a while.
Pokemon are huge.
Yeah, before they came out, I had the older version of this drawing. I was like, oh, you know what? I think we'll be okay as long as they don't release like another Whale Lord or something. And then they Gigantamax, and I was like, son of a bitch! It's like, what do I do? Yeah.
I follow you on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. It's not like anyone comes up. Oh, I know you from Instagram. Nobody knows me.
I follow you on Instagram.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I signed that.
Huh?
I signed it.
You signed it?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good
Thank
one.
you. So this con is a lot busier than I was expecting. So I have to take my bag of 11 by 17s back to the room so that I could finish signing all the fresh prints that the new ones I picked up before the show. They don't have my signature on them. Exciting times. You know, with conventions, when artists are at conventions and they meet up with other artists, a lot of them like to go out to dinner and stuff, and that's a really good way to network. You probably should go out any opportunity that you have. My wife just texted me. Yeah, like if you get invited to go to dinner with other artists, unless you're like deathly busy, you should go. You should go and network. You should go and make some friends. And over my years of traveling and doing these conventions, I didn't really go out and hang out with other artists. I've seen a lot of my colleagues get very, very close with each other, and I've just kind of not. I'm not like a introvert. I always just had my brain on other things. For example, shooting my YouTube series, that was one of them. Or I wanted to go and like watch a fucking tutorial or a lecture or something on my laptop instead of going out to dinner with everybody. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because like you could, anything that you can do at home, you should do that at home. And any like you could always study your artwork when you're at home. But when you're out and about at these conventions and you have the chance to like interact with other artists, maybe make some, not just business connections, but just like personal connections, you can't do that when you're at home. So for any of my artists who are thinking about traveling for Artist Alley and doing conventions and stuff, sometimes put your fucking work away and go hang out with some people. That said, I was invited to dinner tonight and I turned it down because I have work. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Day 2 is definitely a little slower. I liked yesterday's crowd much better. They were all hyped and enthusiastic. Everyone just looks tired today. All right, so you guys see the new Artist Alley setup that I have. It's sitting on the table. There's a few reasons for that. One, the secondary reason is a lot of cons are moving towards this kind of setup. I know a lot of European cons are like this already. Maybe the US is finally going to catch up to it, where a lot of cons are like nothing sitting behind the table, none of those stands. Like, it's a lot of them heading that way. I'm not saying they're all going to be that way, but a lot of them already are. And since I'm doing Artist Alley and not exhibitor now, I'm just going to future-proof and just do this, and that way it's the same setup every time. It's not like the biggest, most bombastic, it's not the loudest display, but it works. And another reason is I've always wanted to have the prints as close to the people as possible. Specifically for my style of artwork that I'm selling, they need to be able to see everything up close. You guys remember back in the day, I used to have like them framed and sitting right here on the table, but I could only fit so many, right? Like I'd be able to put like the Pokemon, the League, and like the Overwatch. But this way, it's essentially like having, this is the same concept of having the framed pieces up front. It's essentially that, but for everything. And I think that's one of the reasons, ever since I switched to this new setup, I think that's one of the reasons everything has been moving more. I've been moving more of everything. Even like back in the day, like the Animal Crossing and the Overwatch, they wouldn't really move that much, especially compared to like, you know, the more popular ones. But ever since we switched, it has been crazy. It's been like night and day. And I'm attributing that to the fact that people can now come closer and they could see all the little details and they could point it out and like talk about it. They used to do that when I had the frames here, but once I stopped putting them on big frames on the table, they stopped doing that. So now we switched to this. It's that same energy again, and it's been working really well. And this is the longest I've been away from home consecutive days in like 8 months, 9 months. Not built for this travel back-to-back stuff anymore. So it's the last day. You know how normally Sundays can start pretty slow because church crowds do the church thing, and we're in Texas. And I'm not trying to stereotype, but you know how it is out here. So I'm estimate. I was thinking that it's not going to pick up until like 2, but it's busy as. Hey, how's it going? I got my boy over in Phoenix Fan Fest this weekend, and he said like the artists aren't doing too hot over there, and you know, it kind of goes in line with the thing that I decided. One, you guys know I don't really care about cons anymore. It's just I'm just here to make my paycheck. Anyway, you know, doing like exhibitors, it costs more money. Going to bigger conventions, like the really big ones, that costs more money on you, but it also costs more money for the attendees. So even you can get like a con with like 100,000 people, but like if everybody has to spend, like if you're going with a family of like 1 kid or 2 kids, you're already dumping like $300-400 just to get in. And then like the bigger the convention, the more expensive everything is: food, parking, hotels. If it's in a major city, if you choose to fly in, that's more money. So it's like doing big cons is appealing because you want to do a New York Comic Con, you want to do a Phoenix Fan Fest, you want to do shows like that. But sometimes you just got to look at not just your costs, but that's expensive for attendees. So my point is, after they spend all that money to travel and they get into the con and then they get their autograph signed by Jason Momoa or whatever, that by the time they walk into the Artist Alley, man, they burn through a lot of their money, you know? And you could have 100,000 attendees. 100,000 attendees that are broke is not as good as having 10,000 attendees that have mad stacks, right? And then the Artist Alley at these places is so big that if they even do find you, the money gets spread so thin. So even if all of them are down to spend all their money, the options are too wide. And anyway, that's one of the reasons I'm kind of staying away from bigger shows. I like mid-sized shows. 10 to 30K is kind of my happy zone for attendance. You know, just get an inexpensive Artist Alley table, $200-300, You know, it's really inexpensive for the attendees to hop in. They have more money. The artist alleys are a fraction of the size, so the money is concentrated much harder. And that's how you really make your money out here. I mean, you want to do the bigger shows because you can get more eyeballs to your stuff, I guess. And I'm all about that. It's just, you know, I'm trying to let my boy know not to feel too discouraged about it, because that's just what happens. It happened to me, and it'll happen to you.
We got a couple of new ones from last time. I bought this one and this one last time in the largest size.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Dang, that was a long time ago then, right?
Yeah,
What was that? IKON? Right before COVID? Yeah. Just like everyone else during COVID, I was drunk during most of it. Well, my flight isn't until 10 p.m. The airport is like less than 15 minutes away. It takes me half an hour to break down. We close at 6, so I have a 4-hour buffer between breaking down and getting to the airport. Oh no!
Say hey.
Hey, what's up?
You don't know who I am, but I've been following you for a really long time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was watching your vlogs like religiously, like in the beginning of my like artist alley journey.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I just want to say thank you for all like the information that you put out. For
Oh,
us,
yeah.
for me. So it like really helped my anxiety and like.
Oh,
you're a big
dude.
part of the reason like why like I'm so comfortable like doing this now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, it's not bad, right?
No.
Yeah, it's not bad, yeah.
I think it helped like my people skills like a lot.
Oh, dude, thank you. Are you okay? Oh, you're not in the shot, but I can hear you. Yeah, okay.
It was good seeing you.
Yeah, what's your name?
Jackie.
Jackie. How's it going?
And then I think, well, what are you working on now? Because I know you stopped like the league one, right?
So I'm pretty much done with all my current projects.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on a TCG. Like I'm part of a team doing some artwork for a trading card game. It's not going to be Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a different game. Yeah. So yeah, I can't talk about it yet, but that's what I have going on. Yeah. So are you going to be at AX Artist Alley? Yeah, me too.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I've been upstairs in the exhibitor hall since like 2019, so I'm happy to be back down in the Artist Alley.
But it's like popping in the exhibit hall. Right?
No, the AX, Artist Alley's better.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a hella better.
Is it because it's like super crowded down there or up there?
I think it's just it's kind of like that everywhere. Like people, they go into the exhibitor hall with like a different mindset. They come into the Artist Alley and they're just like, oh, these are like regular people. I want to buy from them. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mr. Catcom. He's the old school one. Wait, what are you getting?
It is buy two get one free. So if you get something, you could fight over a third one. Yeah, these are the $30 sizes right here. Yeah, these ones up here are the 60s. They come rolled in plastic tubes. And if you get two larges, you get a free large. Yeah. But otherwise, the free one will be this size. In the standard size?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I appreciate it. Some last minute,
I know.
super last minute purchases. My flight doesn't leave till 10, so everyone out here is rushing. I'm like, I'm just going to hang out, take my time. The final sale of the con, I appreciate it. All right, you are all good. And I signed that for you.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, guys.